Hi everybody, good morning. Welcome to my fourth chakra class in the Healing Long Island Free Community Series. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are working on the fourth chakra, which is your heart chakra. It is represented by a green ball in your chest, of course, and it is called Anahata. That's the name of the energy center. This connects the lower chakras that we've been working on to the higher chakras. So it's the connection between your upper and lower body, your physical presence, and your more spiritual presence. We are going to be working on a few heart openers today where we will be facing, when I say heart opener, it's facing your chest up or out, leading with your chest. That's what we're going to work on today. I recommend that you have a mat for under your knee or a blanket that you could slide under your knee because we'll be doing some work on our knees. Also, if you have a block or a book or a box that you can use as a block, have that handy too, just in case. You put that one at the top of your mat. I'm going to work with my mat, my padding in this towards the bottom and center bottom of my mat. Okay? So the purpose of the heart chakra, as you could imagine or guess, is emotional power, empathy, love for others, love for yourself, and just a positive response to your inner thoughts and ideas, because the person that talks to us the most is ourselves. So the things that you say to yourself in your mind are very impactful in how you lead your life. So just learn to love yourself. The heart literally pumps energy through our body in the form of our blood. So we got to get our heart pumping today. The energy will flow through us and we'll feel really good afterwards. As in all my classes, I am not going to play music. Some people don't enjoy music with their yoga. I couldn't get it to work, in terms of the audio over my voice. So play your own playlist if you're interested in music. If you're not, just enjoy the serenity. Thank you again for joining me at the end of the class. I will invite you to be in Shavasana. I think you should stay in it for at least 5 minutes or even more. I will only be doing 1 minute on video, but feel free to stay there as long as you'd like after class, okay? Let's get started. So we're gonna start in a supine butterfly, okay? So you're gonna lie on your back. First, you're going to come to a comfortable seat in the middle of your mat, and you're going to put the soles of your feet together. I don't know what is most comfortable for you, but I am going to do not all the way into my body, but just a comfortable seat with with maybe your feet like 6 inches from your body. I think that's a good place to start. And then I'm going to roll back onto my back. This is a supine butterfly. We're going to put our hands on our stomach so that we could feel our breath going in and out. And we're going to begin to connect to our breath. Bring yourself to your mat. Forget everything that just happened. Forget where you're going next. And just be present in this moment. Think about the ways that you can open up your heart. Maybe someone close to you is going through something difficult and needs a little extra love and attention. Maybe there's a way you can be more empathetic to someone in your life. Or maybe lately you've been really hard on yourself and you can give yourself a break. Whatever it is, just make it your intention today to open yourself up more to the possibility of being gentle with yourself or with others. And in that same vein, if anything in class today is too difficult or you need a break, give yourself what you need. Take a child's pose whenever you need. Take a break whenever you need. On the next breath, let's raise our arms over our head and take a nice full body stretch here. And breathe. In this position, you should be able to get more deeply into your breath. Get a nice little stretch in the inner thighs. Now let's flow our hands with our breath. Let's start with our palms up on our legs. And inhale to rise your arms above your head. Exhale, pull them back down to your inner thighs. Inhale, rise up over your head. Exhale to your thighs, one more round. Inhale, up over your head. Push yourself up to a comfortable seat. And we're going to stretch the spine 6 ways. On the inhale, we're going to reach our left hand over to the right side of our body. I like to keep this arm crossed across my body. For me, it just feels really nice. But here's an example of where we're going to keep our heart open. Instead of collapsing forward, make sure your left arm is coming over your head. Your chest is pointing up towards the sky. That's what I mean when I say shine your heart forward. And flip to the other side. Oh, get all those cracks out. I don't know about you, but I have some this morning. And shine that heart forward. I'm not as open on this side, so this is a little more difficult for me to breathe. But if you breathe into it, you just keep your breath going, it will open you up. Let's do that one more time. Left arm up. See if you could get a little bit deeper into the pose. I like to hook my hand on my knee and kind of push my heart up. Just remember to keep breathing. Sometimes when we're doing something difficult, we tend to hold our breath, but that's not going to get us any deeper into the posture. Let your left hand come across your right knee and then shoot your right hand over. Now I feel this all the way down my side body to my hip. That's how tight I am on this side. So if you're feeling that, that's fine. Just do what you can. Accept where you are. Whew. Shake that out. Maybe do some neck rolls. Let's roll over to the right side. Gentle roll over to the left side. And then let's do one all around. And now let's twist to our right. Left hand comes over the right knee. Right hand comes behind you. And we push our chest towards the side of the room for a nice side body stretch. And breathe. Come on over to the other side. Right arm over the left knee and your left arm comes back behind you. Twist. Let's do that one more time. And a neck roll in between. I have a lot of cracks to work out today. Maybe you guys are feeling stronger than me, but every day is different, right? Some days you're feeling really strong, go to the right, twist over to the right. And some days you're not going to have the same mobility or the same flexibility. This is especially true for women. But really for anyone, if you didn't get a good night's sleep, if you hurt yourself, go over to the left. All these things will affect us if you didn't drink enough water. I have like a water baby. I don't know about you, but I carry my water with me wherever I go. So if you're like me, hydration should not be a problem, but many of us don't drink enough fluids during the day, and that could definitely cause some crackling. Let's interlace our fingers, push them out towards the front of the room and then up. Now, try to pull up from your arms and not your wrists and fingers. This will help you stretch more in your shoulders lean over to the left. Remember, keep your heart forward. You don't want to sink down, okay? Nice long spine, keep your heart forward. Now we're going to go over to the left-hand side to get those cracks out. And release down to your sides. We'll do that again. Take a little minute to wiggle your body. Interlace your fingers. Push them out in front of you. And then up over your head. Really shine your heart forward. Now look, I could be like this. I could be like this. But what I want to be is like this. So almost like my head is in front of my biceps. Okay? Now lean over to the right, stretch forward. And now lean to the left and stretch. Okay, so that's our little warm up. We're gonna do 2 rounds of sun salutation A, and then we're gonna get into our flow, okay? So get over to the top of your mat. Feet together, stand in mountain pose. Hands at heart center, okay? Take a few breaths here. Ground your feet into your mat. Lift up your toes. Press the balls of your feet and your heels into the mat. Stand in a straight line. Put your thumbs against your heart and push against it so you can feel your heartbeat. And let's take 3 breaths here in mountain pose before we begin. 2. On the next breath in, you're going to lift your arms up. Take a look up at them before you dive down over your legs. On the next breath, palms touch your shin, flat back. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. If this is too much for you, you can put your knees down and lower down like this, okay? And then into a baby cobra, which is this. However, if you want, you can do that the whole time. If you want to do a regular chaturanga, I'll show you how. Lower down, chaturanga. Push forward into upward dog. Push back into downward dog. Take what is good for you. Leave what you don't need. 3 breaths in downward dog. Take a slow walk up to the top of your mat. Bend over your legs. On the next inhale, reverse swan dive up. Take a look up at your hands. And hands at heart center. We're going to do 2 more rounds of those. Remember, when we're going to hit the mat, you could either do the full chaturanga or the modified one. It's up to you. On the next breath in, hands rise up. If it feels good, take a slight back bend and then fold over your legs. Breathe in, hand palms to shin. Breath out, hands hit the floor. Step back, or if you're working on a hop, you can hop back. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward dog or baby cobra. Downward dog. Three breaths here in downward dog. You want to be sending your hips back and up. Ideally, your feet are flat on the ground. I cannot get mine there. So if you can, don't feel bad about it. I've been practicing for 4 years and I still can't do it. Okay, step or hop to the front of your mat. Fold over your legs. On the next breath in, reverse swan dive up. And exhale, hands at heart center. We're on our last round. This time we're going to move a little bit faster. Inhale, arms up, slight back bend. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, palms to shin, flat back. Exhale, plant those palms, step or hop back. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to upward dog or baby cobra. And then back down to downward dog. All right. So we're going to begin our flow. You should have, I'm going to put my knee pad, or if you have a blanket, I'm going to put it a little below halfway so that when my knee lands, it'll be there waiting for me. All right. Don't mind my notes if you could see them. Still getting used to this whole teaching thing. It's very difficult to practice and talk at the same time. Okay, so let's get into our heart opening flow. You're in downward dog. I'm going to meet you there. Have your block at the top of your mat just in case you want some extra support during the flow. Okay, from downward dog, we're going to lift our right leg up and back into three-legged dog. Let's bend our knee, circle our ankle, get out the kinks. You can even make some circles with your knee. This will help get all of the kinks out of your hip. And then come back to three-legged dog. Now bring your right leg forward. Let it plant in between your hands. Drop the back knee, and now we're in. We're going to rise up our hands, and now we're in low lunge or Anjaneyasana. Okay? This knee, your front knee, should not really come over your ankle, so you don't want to put too much pressure on it. The back knee will be straight to any degree that you can make it. Might not be perfect, that's okay. Your hands will be up, your gaze could be up, and breathe. This should feel really great in your hips, especially your left front hip. On the next breath in, we're going to reverse our Anjaneyasana. We're going to take our left hand, send that back, down your thigh, and right hand rises. And shine your heart towards the left side of the room. On the next breath in, we're going to give ourselves a break. Fold over the front knee, straighten the front leg, fold over it. This is good for me. I feel this stretch a lot. If you need more, you can sit back on your heel for a half split, okay? I'm going to stay here because this is where I feel it the most. And this is a nice counter stretch to low lunge. So stay here for a few breaths. You should feel this all up the back of your leg. Crawl forward. Plant your left hand and twist your heart to the right side of the room. And right hand's up in the air. And breathe here. Your gaze should be up, heart shining towards the side of the room. On the next breath in, we're going to push up, same arm positions, but up in the air. So you're twisting to the right side of the room. Your right hand is behind you, your left hand's in front of you. Keep the energy moving in those hands. And shine your chest forward towards the right of the room. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. And now we're going to cartwheel our hands down to the mat. Step back to to downward dog. And we'll do a little vinyasa in between. Roll forward into plank. Lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward dog or baby cobra. And back to downward dog. Now we're going to do the same sequence on the left hand side. On the next breath in, you're going to lift your left leg up and back. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Make little circles with your knee or your ankle, whatever feels good for you. Come back to three-legged dog. On the next breath, roll forward, plant your left foot in between your hands, drop your back knee onto your mat or blanket, and rise up into low lunge. Few breaths here in low lunge. I like to have my hands together. If you want, you can have them separate and look up. That kind of hurts my neck personally, so I like to look forward and interlace my hands. Do what's comfortable for you. On the next breath, we're going to tip back. Right hand comes down to your right thigh. Left hand comes up, and we're twisting slightly to the right side of the room. This is a reverse. So we're kind of in reverse warrior, but on the floor. You could look up at your palm. To me, that feels good. If your gaze or your neck needs to be more straight, that's fine too. But have your left palm facing the back of the room and tip back. On the next breath, we're going to come down, plant our right palm, lift our left palm up and twist towards the left of the room. Shine that heart towards the left side of the room and breathe. On the next breath in, we're going to push ourselves up into a T, twist to the left side of the room. Now you could see my T is not that great on this side. I cannot twist from my hips as good on this side as I could on the other. But this is great for balancing and practicing your balance. Take a few breaths here. On the next breath, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Step back to downward dog. Roll forward into plank and lower down knees, chest, chin. Or chaturanga, upward dog, baby cobra. And then back into downward dog. And take a few breaths here. We're going to do that whole sequence again, but we're going to have a few add-ons. All right, get ready for round 2. We're going to lift our right leg up and back, bend the knee, open up the hip. If it's in your practice, flip your dog. You bring your right leg down to the floor, right hand comes up, shine the heart forward. Flip back over to three-legged dog. And on the exhale, bring that right leg in between your hands, drop your back knee, come up to low lunge. I forgot to mention it, I'm sorry. When you're twisting, if you need a little extra support, you could put your block there, and that will bring up your body a little bit. I meant to mention that at first. I'll show you on this round instead. I apologize. We're in low lunge. Few breaths here. On the next breath, tip it back. Right palm flips up and back. Left palm goes to the back of your leg, and you're in reverse. On the next breath, palms plant, left palm plants, right palm up. Now here, if you need to get more space, put your block here under your left hand, and that will help you really open up more. Don't be afraid to use it, even if you've been practicing for a long time. There's no harm in getting a little deeper into a pose. We're going to come up now into our twist. And then the next transition is going to be a little tricky, so make sure you pay attention, okay? 2 more breaths here. And cartwheel the hands down. Lift the back knee. Plant the foot facing the left side of the wall. And now make sure your heel is in a line with the arch of your back foot. Front heel aligned with the arch of your back foot. We're going to turn to the side, extend the right leg, come into triangle in a very odd way. Put your hands, your right hand comes to your knee, to your calf, to the floor, wherever you could reach, and then your left hand extends up into the air for triangle pose. Your whole chest and side, your whole chest should be open to the side of the room, and breathe here in triangle pose. Now it's more important that you're opening up than how far down you go. So if you can only come down here because that allows you to open up, then that's where you stay. It's more important than being down here and not opening all the way like this. Okay, so wherever you can open up the most, that's where you should be. On the next breath, we're going to cartwheel our hands down, step back into downward dog, roll forward into plank, lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, upward dog or baby cobra, and then back to downward dog. And we're going to repeat the same thing on the left side. On the next breath, lift the left leg, bend the knee, open up the hip. If it's in your practice, bring that left foot behind you and raise your left hand up into the air, flipping your dog. On the next breath, go back to 3-legged dog. Inhale, and on the exhale, bring and plant that foot in between your hands. Back knee drops, rise up to low lunge. Now this feels tighter for me this round than it did the last round because we've been working out our hips now. Have that block there if you want, just in case you need it on the next few poses. On the next breath, tip back. Left palm's facing back, right palm hits your thigh. And we're in this reverse position. This should feel really good on your front of your right hip. If anything hurts at any time, please stop and go into a child's pose. On the next breath in, we're going to plant our right palm. Remember, you can use your block if you need. And lift the left palm, twisting towards the left side of the room. On the next breath, we're going to come into our T shape towards the left side of the room. And then on the next breath is our tricky transition where our hands come down, our back knee is going to lift and our foot will plant. Our right foot is going to be still facing the front of the room. Make sure the heel aligns with the arch of the back foot. Your left hand's going to come down to wherever you can reach on your left leg, and then your right hand is going to be raised to the sky in triangle pose. Remember, it's more important to open. If that means you're up here, that's fine. If you could touch the floor, that's fine, but you don't get any extra points for that. Okay? Just do what you can to open the front side of your body. And breathe. And on the next breath, cartwheel your hands down, step back to plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward dog, baby cobra, and downward dog. Good job, guys. We have one more flow before we come down to the mat. I know you can do it. This time it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to have a little fun ending that we can try. No pressure. Do what you can. Try something new. Have fun with it. No one's there to see you. That is the beauty of a pre-recorded class. On the next breath, we're going to lift our right leg up and back. Then on the exhale, bring it forward in between the hands, but we're not going to drop our knee this time. This time, we're going to come in to high lunge. So same thing, but with the back knee lifted. Your hips should be facing forward, hands up. Take a gaze up at them if it feels good on your neck. If not, look forward. Interlace your hands behind your back and pull that chest forward. Shoulders should be down your back. And then we're going to fall into humble warrior. Your right shoulder should meet your right knee. Head should be hanging heavy. And breathe. Make sure you're leading with your heart. Your shoulders should be back. On the next breath, come up, hands up. Now we're going to twist to the right. So your back left leg should be straight, right, as much as you can. Your arms come out to a T, right arm back, left arm forward. And your body and chest and heart are shining to the right of the room. On the next breath, we're going to face forward, arms up. We're going to align our heel, the front heel, to the back arch of the foot. We're going to start to put all of our weight into our front foot, and we're going to go in to half moon. So your right hand is going to come out in front of your right foot, about 6 inches and a little bit to the right. You're going to put all your weight into your right foot. Put your hand down to the floor. Lift your back leg up, foot flexed. And if you can, extend your left arm up into the sky for half moon. Twisting your heart forward to the left side of the room. And breathe. Make sure that left foot is flexed and active. The whole left leg should be very active, not just hanging there. On the next breath in, plant the back foot. Put your hands on either side of your front foot and extend your right leg back for three-legged dog. We're going to skip the chaturanga on this one. If you want to do a three-legged one, you may. Come forward with your leg up. Leg hits the floor on upward dog. Come back into downward dog. Or you could just meet us in downward dog and skip it. The choice is yours. We still have the other side to do. Let's lift that left leg up into the air. If you need to crack it out a little bit, do so. On the next exhale, plant your foot in between your hands and rise up to high lunge. On the next breath, interlace your hands behind your back and pull those shoulders down your back. And bend, left shoulder hits your left knee, head hangs heavy, humble warrior. Woo! Lost my balance on that one. My legs are shaky at this point. I hope that yours are too, so you're challenging yourself a little bit. But if you need a break, feel free to take one. I know we're all at different levels. On the next breath, you're going to come up. Whew. And we're going to twist. Wow. Okay, I lost it. Sorry, guys. We're going to twist to the right side of the room. I'm sorry, the left side of the room. Oh my God, I'm losing it. Twist to the left side of the room in a T shape. Make your back leg as straight as possible. And shine your heart towards the left of the room. On the next breath, raise those hands up into the air, rise to the top of the room. Come, make your back heel flat on the mat, and your front foot, make sure the arch aligns to the back. Straighten your front leg and come out over your leg. Left arm hits wherever it can so that you can stretch your front body. And then we're going to push from the back onto the front foot. All your weight goes here, and your left arm comes down about 6 inches to the left of your foot. Back leg is activated, the foot is flexed, and your left arm is going to come up. And if you can, take a gaze up at it. I know it's hard. This is half moon, guys. You can do this. Our last little push before we come down to the mat. I'm getting tired too, so I hope you guys are feeling okay. It's very hot out today. I think that for me, it's causing my brain to stop working, so I apologize. All right, on the next breath in, put your hands down to the mat and shoot your left foot up and back. If you want one last 3-legged chaturanga, or just stay in downward dog, and we'll meet you there. Now, take a walk to the front of the mat. I wanted to do a fun pose with you today that does shine our heart forward. It's dancer's pose, and it's fun to play around with. It takes a lot of balance. If you can't get it, that's fine. But let's just give it a try, okay? So, we're going to come to the top of the mat in mountain. We're going on the next breath in. As we take a breath in and raise our hands up to the sky, we're going to bring our right foot with us. So you take a deep breath in and bring your right knee up. Grab hold of the top of your foot with your right hand. So right hand to right foot. And now you're in this shape. And we're going to pull our leg back as high as we can without opening our hip. It's very difficult, and I don't have a mirror. So I don't know if I look perfect. I'm sure I don't. So let's just lift our leg back as far as we can. And then once we're at our max, then we tip our left hand forward. And we stay here in dancer's pose. You need to find a fixed gaze point to stare at so that you can keep your balance. And make sure you keep that left leg raised as much as you can. Ideally, your knee should not be coming out to the side, but it's difficult. It's very hard for me to keep my balance and talk to you. I'm sorry. But here we are, 2 more breaths. And release. We're going to do it on the other side. That was a little bit fun, right? Something new, something different, something a little challenging. For some people, balancing is very, very difficult. On a normal day for me, I feel okay with it, but today I'm feeling extra hot. It's very sticky and muggy here in New York. It's like 95 degrees. All right, I digress. As we take a breath in mountain, we're going to lift our hands up, and our knee is going to come with us. Our left hand's going to take hold of our left foot. We're going to lift our back leg as much as we can before we tip forward into dancer's pose. Shoot that right arm forward. Stare at a fixed gaze point and breathe. Every breath you should be able to get a little bit deeper into the pose. 2 more breaths. And release that leg. Whew. All right. We're going to come down and find a comfortable seat. Let's step back for our last vinyasa. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward dog or baby cobra. Downward dog. And then walk yourself through to a comfortable seat. Woo! I don't know about you, but I am definitely feeling the energy flow through my body. So for one of our last poses, I wanted to do something called camel, which is definitely a pose where you shine your heart forward. It can be a little difficult. I'll give you some modification options. Okay, I'm going to use my pad for under my knees. You're going to come to your knees. And you're going to bring your hands to the top of your seat. And it's almost like you're going to push your hips forward with your hands. Okay? So take your hands, put them here, push them forward. And you see how I'm starting to make a shape where my heart is, facing upward and being pushed upward. That's the shape you want. Now, there's a lot of levels to this. You can start to crawl your hands down the back of your thigh. Release your head back if that feels good. Depending on how open you are, you can go and touch your hands to your feet. But the important part is that your hips stay forward. If you're back here, but your hips are sunken in, then you're not doing camel. Okay? So let me show you what it looks like, and then you can decide what variation is best for you. So your hands come here. If this is all you can do, perfect, wonderful, lovely. Stay there. If you need a little bit more, your hands can slide down. You can slide one hand back and one hand up. That's half camel. You could do that on the other side for another half camel. Or if you're feeling really open, you can have both hands come down and do full camel. Wherever you are, stay there. If you're doing one side at a time, take a few breaths on one side and then a few breaths on the other. And breathe. Oh, all right, come forward and into child's pose. We'll do that one more time. Sway your hips from side to side. Sometimes that feels good. Now round 2. And let's see where you're at. Wherever you are, that's fine. Let's put your hands back. Push your hips forward. If this feels good, stay here. If you want to do half, this feels great. And it shines your heart forward in a wonderful way. So if you want to do half and then switch half on the other side, go for it. If you want to come into the full position, it's actually not even full because people can go all the way down to the floor, but I'm not one of those people. So for me, this is full camel, and this is what I'm going to do. Take 3 breaths here. And come into counter pose, child's pose. Come up on those knees one more time. We're going to come into puppy dog pose. So unlike child's pose, you're not going to put your heels back or your seat back, but you are going to crawl your hands forward. So your knees should be under your hips and your hands should start to crawl forward, but you should be leading with your chest. So shine that heart down to the ground as you lower down into puppy. And breathe. Crawl yourself back up, take a seat. Bring your left leg out, right leg in. We're going to do revolved head to knee pose. Your head doesn't touch your knee, that's not a problem. This is just one last heart opener before we come into Shavasana. So, take your left hand and reach as far down as you can. If you can grab a foot, great. Your right hand is going to come up over your head, shining your heart towards the side of the room. If you can touch your foot, great. I can't. I'm going to stay right here and breathe. Now we're going to switch sides, so your right leg shoots out, left sole of the foot comes to the right inner thigh. Right hand is going to grab foot, ankle, calf, wherever it can. And your left arm is going to come over your head. Try to reach for those toes, shine your heart forward, and breathe. Now for your final resting pose. I want you to start to finish the way you started in a supine butterfly position. So let's come down, let our soles of the feet touch each other, and then roll back down to your mat. Hands on the belly. Start to breathe normally at your normal pace. Relax your body. Relax your fingers, your arms, your neck. Release the tension in your jaw and that space between your eyebrows. Stay here for at least 5 minutes in Shavasana. Relax. Enjoy the peace that you just brought to your mind and your body by doing this practice. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. My closing quote is, be patient towards all that is unresolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will gradually, without noticing, live along some distant day to the answer. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today, letting me guide you. The light and love in me sees the light and love in you. Namaste.